Welcome to the channel. Tonight we're going to talk about how to make a do-it-yourself DEF container tackle holder, mostly for 3700 boxes. Here's the supplies you're going to need. I had everything in my shop, so just a piece of strap of some kind, 4 rivets, and 4 fender washers, and of course a DEF container from somebody that had DEF in their truck. And here you go. You find them most of the time just in front of an auto parts store, either in the trash or next to the trash. And we're going to get started. So I got ahead and cut the box ahead of time, but here you go. I'm just simulating cutting the top of the box. I got a little excited when I got it home and didn't video it. And there's a container. It's, just really simple to do. It shouldn't take you 20 minutes once you have it down, but start by cutting the top of the container off. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to use a measuring tape and draw a line and all that, but that's just not me. Here we go. And you just cut it all the way across the top to create your container. So I'm cutting along here, cutting along. And again, it's not perfect, but I'm not really looking for perfect. I think here in a second I realize it's a little off and I make an adjustment. And I did need to dry it out. The stuff is said to be non-toxic. If you're really freakish about it, you can always rinse it out, wash it out. I just, in this case, dried the thing out with a paper towel. So once you get it dried off, I think, again, I noticed here, I got a little edge that I need to trim down a little bit. Not to be perfect, but be better off than I was. And I cut that edge off. Once you get your container ready to go, you're going to take and drill 2 holes in the side. I went about an inch and a half down, and the hole needs just big enough for the rivet to go through. And you just put in 1 on each side there with the drill. And then the next steps to get your strap ready. And in this case, I went ahead and burned 2 holes in it with a soldering iron. It's the easiest way, I think, to make holes in those nylon straps. And then you're going to put your rivet in with the fender washer and then the doubled over strap end. And once you have that set up, again, that's going to be rivet, washer, strap, put it through the hole of the container, put a fender washer on the other side of the rivet, and crank that thing down until it breaks like all rivets do. There we go. And then at that point I straightened it up. It's really tight, which was good, so I think it'll last a while. Straighten it up so it's facing up. And then at this point I put some boxes in there, and that's just a piece of tube I had in stock laying around, probably 3/8 inch clear tubing. And one of the things I practiced ahead of time in the video was just making sure that went in easy, and of course now it's time to video it and it doesn't want to go in easy. But on the second attempt, I think you'll see that it did very well, went right in. Just give me a minute to figure out that it ain't working here. Oh, no, not going. And on the second shot, here it goes. And it goes right through. So once you have that out the other end, you can just pull it through. And then I left the strap long. And the idea here is to make it just taut enough to where it's going to keep them from bouncing out if you're in the boat on the way down the waterway or whatever. But it doesn't have to be super tight. It's not a flexible strap. If you really wanted to spend money, you could probably use some Velcro here and it'd probably be a little more secure. But I don't think it's really necessary in my case. So at this point, I cut the strap, grab my trusty lighter so I can burn the end to make sure it doesn't unravel. And of course, my lighter's out of gas. It worked 2 days ago perfect, but not today. So instead, I go ahead and grab that soldering iron I used to put the holes in the webbing, and just solder the end of that so that heat it up so it doesn't unravel. And don't burn your fingers. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to come over on this side again with the strap, and using that piece of wood underneath it, I'm just going to burn a hole through two pieces. I just fold that strap over so you have about 1 inch of flap, and then just burn a hole right in the middle of that. Just takes half a second to do, and we're done. And then you just, I'm going to take the boxes out here, and then you're going to repeat the process that you did on the other side. So again, when you're putting this back, when you're putting it together, you're going to start with a rivet, put it through a fender washer, and then through the holes in the strap into the bucket. And of course, I can't find my washer right now, but don't worry, there'll be one. What you can't hear in the voiceover is when I move something out of the way, I knocked all my dang rivets over. I was pretty proud of myself. I didn't have any expletives there. So here's another washer. So again, so rivet through the fender washer, through the strap, into the container, in the pre-drilled hole. Here I'm making sure the strap's straight. Got my rivet in place. Now I make sure it's straight. Through the hole in the side of the container, and then another fender washer on the inside that'll allow the rivet to bite into it. That the second side's done. So now I'll put the boxes in to show how fancy it works after straightening that other strap. And about 3 boxes in, I realized that they really should be the other way if you want the strap to hold them at all. So I make that adjustment here. And it'll fit 4 boxes, 4 3700 size boxes very nicely. Voila, there you go. So I got to figure I got about $1.50 in this thing maybe, and I think it's a great system if you don't want to spend a ton of money. Have a great day.